Okay, so I think we are live. Right, let me just mute the sound for a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna use that mute button more often because some people have mentioned that they cannot hear me when the sound is the background music is going, is playing. So yeah, I'm gonna use that mute button from here on out. And this is actually part three. So if you're interested to read about the or at least listen to me narrate my playthrough, the part one and part two, I'll put the links in the description if you're interested. If not, everything's fine. We'll just proceed from this checkpoint. Okay. Right. So. But I should say that the music is really nice to listen to, and if you're playing alone, then that should be fine. But if you're narrating like me, then it can be a bit of a hassle. So I'm gonna mute it from time to time. All right. So let's unmute the sound and let's. All right. Okay. So days pass in a flurry of activity. Alright, so men answer your call, inspired by the defenses you're building in the forest. Your reputation garners you renown throughout the land. You finally get the last of the black wolf blood from your clothing when opportunity comes on Peter's running feet. Word from Robert Fitzhugh. The sheriff's tax collectors pass through his lands in a week. Oh, so a raid is you need to start planning for a raid. Okay, so you and your men spread out through the forest in small groups. Alright. After several days of fruitless searching, you finally come across two sets of tracks along a muddy trail. Examine the tracks, of course. You don't make decision without examining the clues, right? Okay, so the two sets of tracks. Let me just mute this first. Alright, the two sets of tracks cross at this point, likely at different times. One set belongs to a quadruped, hoofed and shod. Uh, yeah, okay, and the other set appears to be boot prints, uneven and close together between two parallel furrows. Huh. So, a horse, probably a rider or maybe a caravan or something, and there's a like foot soldier or like a bodyguard beside, or the owner of the horse at least. Okay, check the undergrowth. All right. A short distance along the first set of tracks, you spot a glint in the mud, a gold coin stamped with the face of Prince John. Along the second set of tracks, you find this is the first track. All right, along the second set of tracks you find a broken ring of rusted steel and a scrap of red cloth. All right, so apparently first set of tracks you can get the sheriff's tax collectors. So yeah, well, maybe I'll ask my men for their opinion just in case. Right, so Devon or Devon, captain of Will Scarlet's guards, steps forward. It's little more than a deer path here, he says, but that first set of tracks is as much as amounts to a road in this part of forest. West and north, it touches on the hamlets of Mayberry, Glendale, and Spring Lake. East, you'll pass Roxley and Briarwatch before coming to Nottingham proper. Okay, so I think this is called Gwyneth, right? An exile from beyond Hadrian's Wall looks up from her own studies. There was some fighting to the south, about a week back. Outlaws versus brigands, or so I heard. The second set of tracks comes from that direction, and I found what could be dirty bandages back a ways. They've they have enough of a head start that we won't catch either before the end of the day, Devon puts in. Pursue one, and we are sure to lose the other. Alright. So whether we go and get recruit some outlaws, or we'll just, yeah, I think we'll go after the tax collector. But I got a bunch of gold already, so eh, but I don't need injured soldiers, right? So okay, let's summarize. So Devon, okay, we'll go with Devon, clears his throat. We have a single rider on horseback headed to Nottingham with enough gold that a coin or two wasn't missed. As Lord Fitzhugh has said, a tax collector. That broken ring is from a shirt of chainmail. Gwyneth offers her counterpoint, and the red cloth is in the sign of the cross, a symbol of the Crusades. I think we have a pair of crusaders, one tired and stumbling, the other being dragged in a litter. So one injured and one tired. Huh. Yeah, actually, I like to go after the Crusaders because I think there will be a bit more story over there. While the tax collector is more like, basic robbery. Um, Alright, let's go with the Crusaders. So we track the Crusaders. The day passes as you stalk your prey, and in the waning light, you spot a man in broken plate mail kneeling in a field of low white flowers that covers the forest floor like snow. His armor is inlaid with flecks of gold, and a full pouch is attached to his belt. Pause and watch before entering the clearing. Yeah, this is a clever move. So I pause and watch before entering the clearing. The crusader crosses himself and slowly rises to his feet. He was kneeling before a low mound of earth. Oh no, his friend died. Two pieces of splintered wood form a crude cross at one end. The man looks around and settles his hand on his sword, as if aware he is being watched. So obviously, you need to step forward right now because he already suspect he was being watched. So I step forward. Hail and well met, Crusader. The man watches you warily from behind the slits of his helmet, not relaxing his guard even after you introduce yourselves. I'm Sir Rymus, lately in the service of King Richard's army, under the command of Remy the Black, also known as the Butcher of Arles. Call me a deserter if you will, but our purpose in the Holy Land was political, not godly, and I could no longer take part. He glances at the mount. My cousin felt the same. Right. We both have a bit of journey ahead. Care to trade some food for a souvenir from the Holy Land? Or our course is not just, it's just where Richard's was not. Huh. But we do have a few like strong supporters of Richard, right? If I said that, then we might lose their support. Uh, all right. Let's go with the first choice, and maybe I can mention about this the course in a more private setting. Okay, so we both have a bit of a journey ahead. Care to trade some food for a souvenir from the Holy Land? Sir Rymus nods and hands you a pouch full of gems. I hope to find employ with the local church or with an acquaintance of my cousin, Lord Hightower. This food will serve me well on the journey. Sir Rymus turns and strides into the forest, disappearing into the dusk. Marianne meets you on your return. Sir Rymus made it out of the forest, we know that much. After that, reports on his movements become sketchy. He's alive though, so maybe we'll see him again. You're the last ones home, by the way. The rest of our men have already returned with 4,950 gold. Nice. She barely pauses for breath. Anyway, while you were out raiding sheriff caravans and camping in the forest, we have been busy building up the infrastructure of our base. Shall I give you a tour, or would you like to discover what we've done on your own? Yeah, I'm a bit lazy, so let's go with the tour. Alright, so perfect. And remember, if we recruit we recruit more men, we'll be able to waylay more tax collectors. More gold for us and less for the sheriff. Marianne claps her hands. Now, follow me. Okay, so tower is something of a misnomer for this place since it's more of a small fortress, but the central tower is what's largely habitable at this point. Marianne leads you to a cozy chamber off the great hall that gives out onto a small courtyard garden. This is the war room. I rehabilitated the room and the garden while you were away. It's remarkably peaceful here. The flowers are lovely, and I think there's a family of hummingbirds nearby. What happens here? Right, I almost forgot. It's mostly my office, though I was thinking it would be a good place to have meetings and plan some of our more daring and complicated escapes. Just find me here anytime you want to work on a major mission against the sheriff. Yeah, it's missing a the. Anyway, she pauses. Not that I have any plans right now. Shall we continue? So Marian takes you to the top of the tower. Stacked bird cages and tall poles with cross beams have been arranged in a semicircle around a writing desk. A wiry man in hunting leathers and a trim grey beard greets you. Marian, to what do I owe the pleasure? Matthew, I'm giving Robin a tour. Care to show him around your domain? Robin, Matthew smiles. Of course, I can't thank you enough for freeing me from the Black Wolves. What I'm doing here is slightly different from the traditional falconry. He takes a falcon from one of the cages. Sir Percival here and our other birds are very intelligent. Instead of hunting, we use them to carry messages. Oh, okay. So instead of messenger pigeon, you get messenger falcons. Uh, And if I'm not mistaken, right, one of the knights that we recruited is called Sir Percival or something like that. Eh, yeah, it can be a bit confusing. Okay, anyway. Alright, so we are also delivering chicks to our allies beyond the forest so that we can receive messages in return. Normally, a place where you house falcons is called a mews. Oh, alright. Guess you learn something new every day. Um, but I prefer to think of this as our mail room. I'll keep track of general correspondence with our organization. Marianne clarifies, but I'll leave any personal messages here for you. You can also send messages from here, especially if you want to cash in some of our renown with the local nobility. So, do I have any mail? Of course. Matthew chuckles. It's nice to be loved, eh? We are just getting the system up and running, but I'm sure the love letters and the hate mail will arrive any day now. Thanks, Matthew. Marianne gives him a quick hug. See you later. Let's go, Robin. You walk down to the ground floor. This is the great hall. Marianne opens her arms. I know it's not much to look at, just a few tables and a safe place to build a fire, but we have plans. Anyway, people tend to gather here when they are not on duty or working on other projects, though that might change if we ever build a tavern. Also, this is where we gather food and money is sent to Nottingham's poor. If you want to send a care package, this is the place to do it. So, yeah, I get distracted. So I look around for anyone to talk to. There's no one here. Everyone is outside unloading the spoils of the raids, but you should come back later. One more stop. Let's go. You step into a small room filled with drawings. They look like plans for structures. This is the architect's studio. Marianne rifles through some sketches. I have been in touch with a man from Granada. He should be crossing the English Channel right now to join us, but he sent a couple of ideas ahead. If you or anyone else has an idea about something we should build or improve our home, this is the place to come. I have it on good authority that the architect is extremely talented. Alright, so can we get started on anything right now? Marianne picks out a couple of the drawings. I think so. One of these should be feasible. I don't want to start anything more complicated until the architect arrives. The diagrams on the table include plans for basic housing improvements, elaborate defenses, and other more esoteric projects. Marianne points out several plans you can begin immediately. Alright, so I got a ton of gold. I have quite a number of some men. Okay, so I can build a tavern. All right, a chapel, a scrying pool, which will help me see like the future. Quite interesting, this one. Um, okay, so I can't make up my mind, so I'll just go with tell me about these buildings. All right, so Marian shrugs. Let's see the architect's notes. She picks up a piece of paper. I see he writes as if he's already a member of our band. Okay, so the Deep Woods Tavern. Okay, so a pet project of Lil John's. Marian interjects. The tavern is fairly straightforward. Tables, long bar, and a fireplace, of course. What it lacks in panache is it more than makes up for in hospitality. A tavern is a sign that we are more than outlaws. We are a community. It will be an immediate draw for those who are considering but hesitant to join us. It's a gathering place for the rough and the tumble, a rallying point for the peasantry, and a place where our tales of great renown can be told and retold to traveling bards. Oh, this would be interesting because I set up the base at a ruined kinda fortress, and one of the disadvantages is that the peasantry might look at it like I'm trying to one up them. So this would be nice if I can build this and recruit more people, right? Okay, so next, the chapel. Obviously, it's a place of worship, the spiritual center of your Christian community. The chapel will be an official conduit for our communications with the church. Donations made at the chapel will inspire grateful preachers to give sermons in our favor, increasing our renown. Okay, so this will increase renown. That one will increase, I guess, renown as well. Maybe plus a bit of people. Alright, so tavern, chapel. Next, the scry. I think it's called scrying, right? The scrying pool or scrying pool. Okay, so there's a pool nearby that, if I'm correct, in its environment and placement in relation to the heavens. Well, it suffice to say that the waters may be magically attuned to distant places and people. It may also serve as a focal point for projects within the deep wood. We need to clear the brush that restricts access to the pool and landscape the area to make the pool suitable for use. She puts down the paper. There you have it. Alright, so I guess, yeah, having drunk men as well, I mean, Robin Hood and his merry band of people, right? Man, his merry man, right? So I guess I'll go with tavern. Can I build more than one project at a time though? Okay, let's go with the tavern. Right, you have mail. Okay, so this is your home base. Much as in camp, you'll have the opportunity to use resources to advance your cause and engage in conversation. Whenever you leave on a mission, your base is likely to be different on your return. Your merry men, yes, are happy to engage in their own projects, but sometimes they appreciate your help or opinion. So feel free to explore. Alright, okay, so uh, this is Marian speaking, alright? Lil John will be thrilled. I've heard he's been planning a tavern for years. Marian puts away the plans. I'll show these to the men and we'll get started. You leave the tower. One of the nearby trees fell in a spring storm, and we've been hard at work clearing it away. The tree broke part way up the trunk near its base, but it's still taller than the man. Several merry men are at work carving and shaping the remains. Marian shows you an open glade in the middle of the dark forest. There's direct sunlight and the beginnings of grass poking out of the earth. This is our own village green. I think we'll use it for festivals and the like. Okay, this is really nice. Alright, so well, there you have it, Robin. Welcome home. Now I'll leave you here and get back to work. I have a couple of ideas I want to sketch out, so come find me in the war room when you want to discover our next big heist. Oh, and the bulletin board over there will have mission ideas suggested by our merrymen. She looks around. It looks like the men are done unloading the sheriff's gold. You won't have the base to yourself anymore. So, where do you go? Okay, so I have mail, so I'll go to the Muse. Matthew nods as you enter the Muse. You have mail, Robin. Uh, okay, let's ask, how are things, Matthew? Good, I'm getting everything organized and have some men out hunting for new birds to carry our messages. I have a good feeling about this operation, Robin. We are going to make history. Alright. There's a scroll here from Marianne. Let's open this. So the scroll reads, Robin, I realized your mailbox looked sad and empty after I removed all the official correspondence. Oh, so I left you this letter. Okay. Right. Tell me about sending messages to our noble allies. Happy to help. Matthew shows you to a small desk. Word of our deeds has filtered out beyond the bounds of the forest, right? Anyway, the bounds of the forest, but they are only rumors. We can confirm those rumors to call in favors with allied nobles. They'll send gold to support us in exchange. Yeah, I think I'll keep my renown. Yeah, I got like 10,000 gold, more than enough to like build a chapel and what's the other stuff. All right, so you step away from the muse. Let's go to the architect's studio. Can I build two stuff at the same time? But I won't have any men to to carry out my raids, right? Yeah, why not? Let's go with the chapel. Alright, so you send the plans for the chapel over to Marianne and tell her to get started. I still have a bunch of gold, so let's go with the scrying pool as well, so I can get everything done quickly and within a year. Alright, so you send the plans for the pool over to Marianne and tell her to get started. You realize that you've already started all the projects the architect sent ahead. You'll have to wait for his arrival before more projects can be started. You close the door behind you. Where do you go? The war room. Marianne looks up as you enter the war room. So, alright, so Marion keeps track of a variety of projects and concerns from the war room. Minor projects are marked with pass the days. Raids will take you further afield and are indicated with mark the weeks. Major projects take the entire season to work through and are marked with turn the seasons. While you're off adventuring, it's possible that your home will change and grow or fall into disrepair. Okay. Oh yeah, I just recalled. I forgot to unmute the sound. Okay, so what do I need to choose here? Okay, so I'm gonna go with what plans are afoot. Marianne rubs her hands. I have some ideas about how we can expand our raids against the sheriff. Mind you, this could take some time. Are you ready to get your hands dirty? Ha ha ha. Give me a minute. I need to talk to other people first. Alright, so next, am I forgetting anything? Misplace your to-do list again? Marian shuffles her papers. Let's see. We can still confirm our accomplishments with the nobility in exchange for gold at the mills. There's an empty care box in the Great Hall if you want to send gold to the poor and attract new recruits. Alright, I'm definitely gonna do that. Great Hall, right? Okay, so you haven't been walking moody around our... what? You haven't been walking moody around our forest border? Do you mean like patrolling, right? Huh. Alright, this sentence is just weird. Alright, anyway, you've yet to walk the trails around our base. They are worth a look if you are inclined. They change with the seasons. Alright, nice. Maybe I'll just take a quick walk. And yeah, the sheriff is using the bounty on our heads as collateral. This season he's focused on dispelling our magical discoveries. Aha. These two sentences make sense, but I'm not sure what's the implication of having our magical discoveries dispelled. So I guess we'll see. Okay, so Marianne, she puts down her papers. Mind you, I don't concern myself with your casual conversations, your fumbling attempts at courtship, or other such minute day or something. And anything else that needs doing should be pretty obvious. Now, let's get down to business. Alright, so I'll be back. I need to go to the Great Hall and then walk the trails. Alright, let's go. The Great Hall. Okay, so you return to the Great Hall. Rosalind's sitting by the table, at the table by the hearth, a steaming pot of tea at her side. Alright, I guess I'll join Rosalind for some tea then. Rosalind's staring into the distance and doesn't seem to notice your arrival. Rosalind, is everything okay? No, not especially, no. She runs her fingers through her hair. I've been having nightmares since our encounter with the bandits. I was just a lady's maid, Robin, and before that I helped my parents gather herbs. I was up to my elbows in blood. People died and I felt them slip away in spite of everything, but it wasn't that. Or not only that. She stares into her tea. It's the whips. They came for the bodies. With the night and the fog, they swarmed the bodies and left nothing. I see the whips at night, and I see them coming for me. Wow, that's like a horror story. Alright, so this is kind of like a courtship like option, right? Uh, alright, anyway, so I mentioned, I said, we are safe here, Ross. The whips won't hurt you. I touch her arm. I won't let them. Thanks, Robin. She takes your hand and squeezes briefly. But you can't be with me all the time. You can't guard me in my dreams. She removes your hand and pushes back from the table. I'm going to try to get some sleep. See you later. Alright, so I find Eli, or is it Ellie? Tell me about these care packages. You catch one of the twins as she bustles through the hall on her way from here to there with an armful of Lincoln green laundry. That box, we send it to the poor at the end of the week. They get to eat and we get good publicity. Additionally, enough gold means the peasants can spare us new recruits they would otherwise need for farming. Just drop whatever you want to send in the box and we'll make sure it gets off. Which reminds me, this is yours. She takes a hat from the top of her pile and flops it on your head. Now, if you don't mind, she twists away and disappears out the door. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. I assemble a care package of gold and food to send to the poor. So exchange gold for men. How much gold though? It's not mentioned here. All right. Let's just go with it. Oh, okay. So I have 6,000 plus gold. And I can buy a new recruit for every 120 gold. So let's go with 2,400 gold. Oh, I can recruit a maximum of 53 men. Why 53 though? Very weird maximum number. Alright, so here's a tip here. Some locations allow you to exchange one resource for another. This exchange is made at a set rate and does not benefit from any perks or abilities. Alright, so yeah, let's go with 2,400. Close. Okay, so I send gold to the peasants. What do you mean, how many peasants do you want to recruit? I sent 2,400 gold, right? Give me a sec. I'm gonna use my... Okay, so... I'm gonna recruit the maximum amount. Okay, let's just go with 23. Okay, 20. You do some quick calculations, you'll support the peasants with 2,400 gold and recruit 20 merry men. Why am I so honest though? I could recruit more men, right? I could just try to get 53 men with only 2,000 gold. Uh, I don't think the game has like a inbuilt calculator or something. Anyway, let's go. Correct. You close up the care box, one of your men will see it delivered later today. Alright, so I leave the Great Hall. Okay, where do you go? What about the trail? Is it the green? Okay, so you return to the green. What are you carving? I asked the man. Not certain, Robin. One of your men salutes. Maybe something for the May Day festival? We'll see what comes out of the wood. These things have a life of their own, you know. So Will's walking through weapon training with some recruits, so I check in on his progress. Robin, Will claps you on the arm. Welcome to the green. Just so you know, I have my own opinions on just about everything you do. Not to say I could do it better, but sorry. Not to say I could do it better, but it's good to get a different perspective. As for your latest adventures, he pauses for a moment, lost in thought. There's a rumor that the crusader you met, Sir Rymus, has joined with Lord Hightower's men. He'll have steady work if Hightower doesn't kill him hunting myths and legends first. Alright. Whatever happened to the gold in your vault? It remains where you saw it, Robin. In case King Richard requires ransom. And no, you cannot have it. Wait a minute. I thought you agreed to give the gold to what? The noble Fitzhugh to ransom Marianne's father from the sheriff? Huh. Okay, anyway, the training looks good. Do you need anything? Okay, so Will shrugs eloquently. I wasn't going to mention it, but we need some decent weapons. Decent weapons, better than what can be made here. Is missing what? In the forest. If you can spare some gold, I know a merchant in town who's trying to move some of his stock before it's confiscated by the sheriff. Oh, I'm short by 1,000 gold. Sorry, Will, we can't spare the money right now. Those weapons won't be there forever. If we don't get them, the sheriff, he pauses. It's your decision, Robin. I understand. Uh, I leave Will to his work. We literally don't have the gold. If we have 5,000, I'll give it to you, Will. Alright. Okay, so you walk away across the green. Oh, okay, so I can gather a group of men. I can exchange my men for power. Nah, I think I'll keep my men. Alright, so I'll leave the green. Let's go to the forest border. Alright, so the edge of the forest looms, dark and foreboding. Alright, you can launch periodic raids on tax collectors and other forest travelers from the forest border. Raids may take a span of days to complete and are always marked with mark the weeks. Going on a raid takes time and your home is almost certain to change in your absence. Alright, so I got two options here. I go for a stroll along the meandering paths near the base. The trail weaves and winds. Okay, this is exactly where I want to be. Alright, so the trails bend and meander for a time. Let me turn on the sound for a bit. Okay. The forest trail splits around a large hollow log, tall enough to walk through without bending your head. Ferns and brackens sprinkle the forest floor, and shells of mushrooms run up the outside of the log. Everything is pleasantly damp. North, east, south, or west? Let's go to the wildfire. I go north. Alright, so you come upon a long meadow in the middle of the deep wood. Wildflowers, red and white, poppies and lace, and the fresh meadow grasses push through this fire-scarred ground. I go further north, along a quiet stream. Someone some time ago erected a small shrine to the Virgin Mary in this grotto. The shrine is in the state of disrepair. A small dang it, I forgot how to pronounce this word. Bo- bouquet of dried flowers sits at the base of the shrine. I have some men come by and fix the shrine. Yeah, yes, I think I'm gonna earn some grace. Or maybe I should pray at the shrine. Alright. Your prayers fall from your lips into the quiet forest and you're filled with a sense of peace. Alright, let's fix the shrine. It'll take some work, being a fair distance from your base, but your men begin immediately. Alright, follow the narrow forest path or go up a steep rocky trail. Let's go up so we can have like a bird's eye view of the map. Your path takes you along the narrow edge of a cliff face. It's drizzling slightly and rivulets of water brighten the moss and lichen clinging to the cliff's face. Mist shrouds the top of the deep wood. It's a long way up, and even longer way down. Alright, let's go south to the forest meadow. Let's return to the meadow and go south again down a damp, wet path covered in pine needles. You come across a damp hollow. An ancient tree grows straight out of the side of the hill, twisting corkscrew wise before reaching for the sun. The tree is covered in bright green moss. A toadstool, 3 feet across and bright orange, sits under the tree. A large toad watches you from the toadstool. This out-of-the-way hollow is the perfect place to store supplies in case of attack. Yeah, this is true. Alright, so you check the space with a critical eye. That toadstool will have to come out. Sorry, little amphibians, but I need the storage. I delegate a group of men to the task. Alright, I'm down to 5 men. Okay, let's go west to the hollow log. You return to the hollow log. Ferns and brackens sprinkle the forest floor. Alright. There's a crooked tree. Did I just came from there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, so I can either go south down a broken stone road or west between a pair of twisted birch trees. Alright, let's go through the trees. I go west. Your path stops at the edge of a dense thicket. Thick, heavy brambles twine and curl ahead, blocking your path with bright green shoots. Okay, I can. I go north along a game trail lined with skunk cabbage. You come across a small stream and a single dogwood tree. The water burbles over and around a run of round rocks bordered by lush ferns. The dogwood tree blooms white and pink. A few fish idle in crooks and eddies formed by layers of tree roots. Yeah, I should build a bridge, but I don't have the men. So I try my hand at fishing. Quick as lightning, you plunge your hands into the stream and come out with a rainbow-colored fish the length of your arm. This will make a beautiful trophy in the Great Hall. Uh, why a trophy though? Can't you just cook and eat it? I only fish for sport. I toss it back. Eh, yeah, let's just toss it back. The fish splashes into water and swims into a quick circle before disappearing downstream. You swear you saw it wink. Oh, nice. I earned something. Okay, so I go north along a narrow forest path. I think I've been there. So I go west through branches draped in mist. You skip down a scree slope to find yourself At the edge, there's missing at, at the edge of a small pond lined by jagged chunks of upthrust granite. The water burst into whirls and wavelets under the persistent spring rain. In the sighing wind, it almost sounds like the pond is whispering to you. Almost. Okay, so I go east the rocky stream. Yep, I think I'm a bit lost. Okay, let's just return home to the forest border. I need to remember to come back and build this small bridge though. Alright, so you return to the edge of the forest, step back from the forest. Okay, let's go check out the bulletin board. I'm not sure whether you can hear me, but anyway, you approach the bulletin board. There are no missions right now. So I take a look at our statistics. So the state of Sherwood by Maid Marianne. Greater Sherwood Forest Defenses 2, Political Influences 6. Ooh, not bad. My bounty is already 24,000, nice. So the sheriff is focusing on destroying my magical discoveries, I think. I only have 2 though. Okay, so beyond the borders, I have not earned any favors. So yeah, we average 57 gold per merryman on our seasonal rates. Taking into account additional men will gain due to our forest defenses, we anticipate raiding the sheriff's caravan for 855 gold. An additional 10 men are likely to join our band by the end of the season. We'll gain 60 renown. Oh, maybe I should exchange my renown for gold. And gold for men. Yeah, because I'm earning like quite a bit of renown, right? We extend our reach with 1 power. Right, at the turning of the seasons, an additional 25 men are likely to join our band and we'll gain 750 renown. I don't really use renown that much, so per action we gain renown, we gain an additional 50 renown. Okay. Our current base is quaint. There's still room for improvement. Alright. Okay, I guess that's it. Yep. Let's turn the seasons. Marianne unrolls several detailed maps. If you look at the established text routes, the days while away and the weather turns positively pleasant. Alright, checkpoint triggered. -6 magical discoveries. Seriously? I only have 2 though. Am I like -4 right now? Okay, anyway, the sheriff. Okay, let me just mute this for a moment. Okay, the sheriff leaves offerings to the Dark Fae that they might disrupt your activities. Your home remains secure, but the damage is done. Okay, so there's news from the forest and beyond. Oh yeah, I got 10 men and 300 renown. Ooh, 300, that's quite a bit, right? Okay, so you look over a collection of notes and reports sent over from Marianne's desk. Our forest defenses attracted additional recruits. Our political influence has garnered us additional renown. Fairy mischief is hobbling our passage through the forest, making it more difficult to strike at the sheriff's men. The sheriff is using his resources this season to hinder our relationships with the peasants and disparage our reputation. He's left himself vulnerable. If we appeal to the Fae, we should be able to lower our bounty and hamstring his efforts. Okay, not everyone who joined your forces is human. Earl Robert sends a message. Okay, let's go with the first option first. Amaranth's call was heeded by a tribe of ogres. Even the war room, you can hear your camp resonate with their low, steady song. Oh, nice. So the dragon that I released, that I saved in part 2 of my story, I actually asked her to help recruit the local magical creatures to join my army, and apparently she did exactly that. So that's quite good actually. Alright, so Earl Robert sends a message. Let's hope some positive news. Alright, word of distant events reaches even your corner of the forest. Through your actions and the home you have built in Sherwood, you have 33 power this season. Find favor with the factions that shape England and gain influence to shape their destiny. Okay, so there are four factions in England: the peasantry, the nobility, the church, and the fae. Use power on behalf of one of England's factions to gain favor with that faction. Gain enough favor and you'll be granted a level of influence which can be spent to pursue special projects and recruit distant allies to your cause. You will have the opportunity to evaluate the impact of your decisions before committing your resources. Again, level of influence is represented with a plus symbol. Okay, so I think I would be able to increase my favor, right, for all the factions. Uh, okay, so but maybe I should just focus on one for the moment. It's a lot easier to gain favor from the nobility. Um, okay, let's go with the nobility because it's easier to cap it out. So let's go with this. Alright, so dissatisfied yeomen and serfs are rising in rebellion against the northern nobility. They have stopped trade on several key roads, occupied a small fortress, and have kidnapped a group of minor nobles as hostages. Hmm. Yeah, either way, I will gain two favor. So uh, let's just rescue the hostages. If you strike fast and hard, you should get to the nobles before they are killed. Too risky. I draft letters to the nobles' families telling them to negotiate for their loved ones. The peasants know that their goals require negotiating in good faith. They'll keep their word. Okay, so yeah, they are negotiating, so I don't need to spend my power. I guess I'll send my men to clear the trade roads. You pinpoint a group of crossroads that are areas of high rebel activity. A Alright, let's do the trade roads. Alright, I look into other issues for now. Okay, so I gain favor, but I have not lost my power yet for some reason. Alright, anyway, let's go with peasantry. Oh, actually I've spent one. Okay, so heavy spring rains have caused flooding all across England. The flood waters pose a danger to crops, homes, and people. Uh, um, I send merry men to help build levees. Okay, so I spend one power to gain. Oh, this would be nice. Alright, I'll spend two power to gain four favors. Oh no. This is the total number of favor. I think I'll just wait for the next. Yeah, let's wait for the next season. Okay, so any news from the church? The church is running its annual fundraising drive, gathering money for yearly expenditure not covered by the usual thief. Local parishes are hoping to do roof repairs, replace stained glass windows, and commission another Bible or two. Okay, I hold a big sale. um, okay, so I set aside funds to replace stained glass with one of the panels dedicated to the Merryman. So it's kind of like a win-win for the both of us. The church gets something, and I get to market my little band of Merrymen. So let's go with this one. Okay, so I look into other issues for now. Any word from the Fae? Spring is coming and the fairy lords are turning over a new leaf. New gown designs, fantastic conveyances, and exotic animals are all the rage. Hmm. this would be tough. Hunt and capture a live weapon. Okay, let's just go with cool clothes, right? Okay. Alright, that's it. I set my plans in motion. The flooding was bad, but it would have been much worse without your help. The peasants are thankful for your help. Alright, so I look into our standing with the nobility. You manage to defuse several key situations before they get out of hand. There is relative peace in the north. The nobility are grateful. Church bells chime across the land. Parishes are never profitable, but you do just enough to help balance the budget for another year. The church is grateful. The fairy court gathers flowers, dances across fields of snowdrops. You're not going to win any awards, but your efforts are politely applauded by several members of the fairy court. Some of them might even remember your name come summer. Okay, nice. Tax collectors continue to harass the peasants. Your men strike in retaliation. Oh, my bounty has increased. Okay, so Marian's plans for expanding your raids bear fruit. As spring wanes, your men robbed 5,865 gold from the sheriff's tax collectors. Alright, so oh, it's actually the next month, May 1st, 1192. Oh, 25 men. Okay. Okay, so steadily word of Robin Hood and the outlaws of Sherwood spreads. Your band of merry men and women grows. Not only wanted men, but families displaced by the sheriff join your cause. You stand once more in the war room, tracing tax routes and planning your next strike. Peter rushes in. Robin, Robin, he gasps. Marian thought you've forgotten. There are no taxmen riding today. It's May Day, the first day of summer. Marian says, oh, yeah. He pauses for breath. Put down your maps and come have a little fun. The festival's already started. Oh, this is so dark. It sounds like Oliver Queen, right? There's like no room in my heart for fun. All of that vengeance against the sheriff is all that matters. Yeah, I'm not Oliver Queen, so let's not do that. I love parties. I'll be right there. I've completely forgotten. All right. So ribbons and garlands decorate every part of the tower, but the festival itself takes place outside. The tree stump in the green has been carved into a maypole, and booths with food, drinks, and games are scattered about the glade, a splash of color beneath the shadows of the deep wood. I'm going to dunk for crab apples, Peter wheezes, and runs off with a pack of small children. Oh, and Marian says be at the maypole when they crown Jack of the Green and the Summer Queen. You fill your lungs with warm summer air and look over the party with that almost passed you by. The crowning of the day's king and queen and the dancing that follows won't take place until dusk. You have the whole day ahead of you. hmm I wander the festival and see what there is to do. Stalls radiate in a random, haphazard fashion from the festival center, where children and adults skip around the maypole. You spot Eli and Ellie standing to one side, engaged in low conversation and casting ancient glances to where Peter is dunking for apples. They notice you, smile as one, and wave. Um, should I talk to them? Alright, I walk up to the twins. We haven't had much chance to talk. The twins turn to you and curtsy. Robin, says one of them, we want to thank you for creating all of this. The other twin bobs her head. There's more life here than there ever was while we were growing up. It's so much fun to have people around. Thank you again for all your help with Amaranth and Pelinor. Oh, it's Pelinor, is not Percival. Alright. Anyway, the twins smile. It worked out, says one. We couldn't have done it without you. We're used to treating animals, says the other. It's so nice to help someone who can talk back and be appreciative, I'm sure. Okay, so you girls are looking well today. Really? The twins do a little leap together. We wanted to look nice today in case of some strapping farm boy has the nerve to chat us up. Not that he'll get anywhere if he can't tell us apart, the other twins asserts, unless he has an interesting twin brother. There's a sudden scuffle by the apple barrel. I'll take care of it. One twin touches her sister's arms and runs off. Peter! I'm Eli, Robin, the remaining twin curtsies. Not that it matters much. Our names sound the same. Oh, sound the same? Though they are spelled differently. Alright. Okay, so I say this. You worry about Peter, don't you? Since our parents disappeared into the forest, we are all his god, and he doesn't listen, always running everywhere in spite of our warnings. He's just being a boy, right? Anyway, Eli grimaces. Sorry, Robin, I won't bore you with our history. Peter adores you, though, and you need to treat him gently, regardless of what he says. She touches her throat. He can't breathe right, not like everyone else. When it's cold or he's been running around, his throat closes. If that happens, steam can help. Add saffron if you can find it, or licorice. Oh, he has asthma. Okay. Eli blushes. Robin, sorry again. Thank you for asking. She takes a deep breath. My sister and I entered into the pageant today. Pageant today. Peter put us on one ticket since he said no one could tell us apart anyway. Do you think we have a chance? I always dreamed of being summer queen. It's so romantic. Maybe I can jest, 2-on-1 doesn't seem particularly fair. um, if I knew the answer to that, I would be a wealthy gambler instead of a forest dwelling outlaw. uh, is this done in jest though? Because I don't want to mention this and then, she'll get offended. I don't want to offend the medic of the group. Let me turn on the sound. Oh, nice. This is the music of the Mayday. Alright, okay, let's go with the safest choice. You are the two most beautiful girls in the entire Deepwood. Of course you'll win. Don't tease, Robin. Eli tucks her hair behind her ears and smiles tentatively. We have pimply freckles and freckly pimples. We are 17 years old, not that you know the way we pass for pitch boys even in the best light. She looks around and leans close, though if you vote for us, it wouldn't hurt. Well, I don't think I'm gonna vote for you. I'm gonna vote for myself. Alright, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Eli stomps up her hair and dress. Oh, okay, let me just mute the sound again because it's getting louder. Okay, so Ellie stomps up her hair and dress soaking wet. Eli, she grabs her sister by the arm. I need your help. I swear I'm gonna tan his backside so hard. Eli shrugs and shoots you a helpless grin as she follows her sister through the fair. Alright, I continue wandering the festival. Across a patch of grass there's a collection of stools and benches. Lil John is busy dispensing ale and solid country wisdom in equal measure from beneath a cheerful white tent, whilst Sir Bedivere dozes at his feet. Yeah, it's a party, so it's time for a drink. So I wander up to the bar. Robin, John waves you over. We had a running bet that said you would miss the festivities. Sit down and have a drink. I roll my eyes. Pour me a cold one, John. Unflappable as always, eh? John slides off a foaming mug across the bar. The beer's as cold as the day, Robin, which is to say, not very. It's a real shame, though, if you get to building us that ice house. John grins, unabashed. We'll see. There's a lot to be done here. Aye, that's all I'm asking. A pack of screaming children runs by. We are more than just resistant fighters now, Robin. This here is turning into a regular community. And I reply, it's a good thing. The people here have hope, and they want their families to have hope as well. Everything the sheriff would take from us is right here. We need this to prove that he can't succeed. That's the spirit, and we're doing a right good job of it. Excuse me for a moment. John draws an armful of beers for a new recruit and his friends. The recruit wanders away with the drinks, and John leans back over the bar. What if we just build on this, Robin? Disappear into the forest with uh, any who will join us. Let the world beyond go to rot, I say. A pretty dream. Oh yeah, okay, let's say uh, okay, so I'll say a pretty dream, John, but the sheriff is keen on Marianne and has some interest in myself as well. He won't let us rest, no matter how far we run. He will not lay his paws on her as long as I live, not while we've got what we've got here. John wipes foam from his beard. Those people, he points to the children racing around the trees, to a group of men in line for the hammer throw. Millers, farmers, hunters, and tradesmen, they are the key to peace and prosperity. Rot on the king, the prince, and the nobles. If we want to win this, we need to spend our gold and get every village, hamlet, and town this side of Derbyshire Shire behind us. Do that. He settles back and crosses his arms, and maybe we'll end up somewhere different than where we started. I suspect you're right. Rob from the rich, give to the poor. John slaps you on the back and almost knocks you off your feet. Anyway, let's celebrate some. Can I get you another? One for the road, John. I'm going to wander around, see what the rest of this fair has to offer. Come back and see me sometime. John raises his mug in salute and slides a foaming mug into your hands. I'm here all day. Alright, so I continue wandering the festival. The festival paths, twists and wind, garlands of flowers hanging from branches overhead complement the lust of spring's flowering vines. Dang. Alright, one of the paths dead ends in a sheltered alcove bounded by a ring of close growing trees. Rosalind sits within, teaching several children how to weave wildflowers into wreaths. Um, I join Rosalind's little class. Hello, Robin. She replaces her formal servant's garb for a simple skirt and embroidered bodice. Her long red hair is braided with flowers into a series of loops around her head. Care to learn a bit about garlands? She gives you a big smile and pats the bench at her side. I would love to. Rosalind spends a couple of minutes showing you the technique, and after crushing a daisy or four, you think you've got it. You know, she says, I haven't seen you much lately. What? I just talked to you like a season ago. Alright, anyway, I'm sorry it was by negligence and not deliberate avoidance, I assure you. Uh, yeah, I don't think I should apologize though. Okay, I make up an excuse. It has been busy raiding the taxmen, setting up our new home, getting new recruits trained, etc., etc. Just Rosalind wags her finger. You must remember to make time for your friends. Her eyes sparkle with mischief. We are friends, aren't we, Robin? Uh, that sounds like a loaded question. If I mention this, will she get offended? Because I guess she's friends, you know. We've been through a lot. But I guess I can make a joke, right? Among friends. So that sounds like a loaded question. Perhaps I'm being unfair, but it has been far too long since we've spent any time together. And while many new faces and a surfeit of activity have appeared in Sherwood, yours is a friendship I value most high. You've said all that needs saving. Consider our friendship secure. Good. She claps her hands. Now I'm in the running to be Summer Queen and I need your help to gather votes. The Summer Queen must dance with Jack O of the Green at the close of the day. She pouts. With any luck, I'll be able to get Little John to give me a second glance. He's always so busy with his beer on that silly bear. The people should vote without my interference. Okay, I'll do what I can. I knew I could count on you. Rosalind gives you a big hug and holds up another bouquet of flowers. Would you care to make some garlands? I spent all of yesterday gathering these flowers, and I would hate to see them go to waste. I want to explore more of the festival, so I stand and stretch. Actually, it looks like you have another another group to teach. Three little girls are running this way. I may come back later. Have fun, Robin. Rosalind greets her new guests. All right. Uh, yeah, Rosalind is interested in John. Okay, let me play the matchmaker and go to John. I find John. Robin! John leans over the bar. I didn't think I'd see you back here today. Here for more beer? Let's just go, straightforward, direct, and ask. So, John, what do you think of Rosalind? Okay, so John said, she's a right pretty lass, with a level head on her shoulders and that stunning mass of red hair. She'll make some man happy someday, I wager. Prettier than me? Jealous. No, 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 no. Uh, She likes you, John. Do I have to spell it out? John's eyebrows shoot to the top of his forehead. A fine lady in waiting like Ross has eyes for me? Well, I'll be. If you'll excuse me then, lads and ladies. He rolls his shoulders and straightens his shirt and draws two foaming mugs of beer. Wish me luck. Good luck, John. Yeah, I've been successful so far, I guess. Alright, so I look for Will Scarlet. Okay, I continue wandering the festival. You're surprised by a sudden ring of stalls circling a patch of tables and benches. Every table is filled with merrymen and women, except one, empty for a gangly, ebon-skinned man in flowing robes. His table is covered in scrolls and papers, and he appears to be talking to himself, occasionally making notes with a peacock quill. I approach the man, curious. Salam, you're Lady Robin of Locksley, are you not? The man is extraordinarily slender. He wears long colourful robes characteristic of far southern climes, and sports an ornate curved dagger at his hip. I'm Palamedes, the architect. I do not believe we have been properly introduced. He performs an elaborate bow. It's a pleasure. Oh, but now I really must be going. Okay. No, this is definitely not the response that I should give. Okay, so how do you like it here so far? To say that there is much to be done would be an understatement. To say I've never seen greenery of such grandeur would be another. He gestures to the papers on the table. The potential is staggering. You have the man and material to accomplish something truly great. My only regret is that there isn't space to do everything at once. Where the giants of nature tread, man must walk soft, or they be crushed. We shall have to make choices. He nods to himself. Come see me at the studio sometime. I have many plans. Alright, so I continue wandering the festival again. You follow the sound of a rat-a-clack-clack, wood on wood in sharp staccato, to a ring of ribbons and a pair of merrymen dueling with wooden swords. Will Scarlet watches the match intently, his concentration at odds with the crowd of cheering men. I wonder how Will's doing. I walk up and watch the rest of the match. 1 point, Will cries to William Studley, and that's the round. Ah, Robin, welcome to the dueling ring. The merrymen are hard at work, competing for a kiss from the Summer Queen, but we have a bit of a break. A young maiden prances up to Will and places a garland on his head. For you, brave Will, most handsome man at the fair. My thanks, Missy. Will frowns. I cannot accept further gifts from you, nor shall we go walking in the moonlight. Oh, Will is just hopeless. So the lady says, but I spent all week making that. I understand. Will tries to let her down gently. I simply cannot. You think you're too good for me, don't you? Missy stamps her feet. I don't believe what they say, but you are indeed a monster. Heartbreak Scarlet. Will tries to place a comforting hand on Missy's shoulder, but she pulls away and vanishes into the crowd. That was awkward. So what was that all about? Will signals and another man takes his place as judge. He takes your arm and steers you through the wandering alleys of the festival. I've acquired something of a reputation here in Sherwood. My name is Scarlet, they say. For the thrill of broken hearts, I leave in my wake. Yeah. I cannot help that I'm handsome or gracious, but marriage for me is a necessity. I must produce a heir and hair. It should be a hair, right? And for my lands, my title, nothing more. I'm not heartless, Robin. My wife will be well cared for, but it would be better for both of us if she has lands of her own. The option for other outlets. He picks up a practice sword. Come along, Robin. Let's spar. En garde. You and Will square off on a level patch of ground between the two rambling tree roots. We have done well for ourselves here, Robin. Will probes your defense. We have a home, a small following, and as little money at the sheriff's expense. He stands straight. His sword's man's posture slips for just a moment. But we are little more than a nuisance to the sheriff's grand ambitions. Uh, I seize the opening and strike. Our attacks add up. We will be more than a nuisance soon enough. And when we are more than a nuisance, Robin, when the sheriff turns his full attention to the outlaw problem, what then? Will's sword meets yours, though he's forced to backpedal. Well struck. You must commit to any attack. I thought to provoke you, and you called my bluff. He recovers and forces you back between the trees. You and Will test each other back and forth beneath the trees. I know the sheriff, Robin. I've met Prince John. Will steps slowly around you, his wooden sword weave an elaborate pattern across his body. And I've lived in the deep wood my entire life. They'll tolerate us for a season or two. Gather power elsewhere in England, but winters here are hard, and come next spring they'll hammer us into the ground. That is, if the weather doesn't do us in first. Oh, okay. Alright, so what you do, the action that you take in this duel is relative to what you want to say. So I guess I don't want to put too much faith in the sustenance of the forest, and I don't want to kick the ball down the road as well. So let's ask for an idea. Because he's an experienced nobleman and everything, right? So, and you have a better idea? I feign a cramp in my foot and drop my guard. Richard returning from the Crusades would be ideal, but barring that, Will swings at your exposed side and you twist out of the way, catch him on the leg. Well done, I was ready for a straightforward attack, but you tricked me into dropping my guard. Will launches a sequence of tight, controlled strikes, battering at you over and over. Imagine a line of knights, lancers, and armor shining in the sun, rows of halberdiers, bristling pikes, and a sky black with arrows and the thwack of heavy ballista. The nobility is ready to go to war, Robin, but the sheriff keeps them divided and afraid. We need to unite them on our side. At what price, Will? I dance back and focus on holding him off. The nobles have the least to gain and the most to lose in joining our resistance. Will backs off, unable to beat his way past your defense. Well thought and an excellent point. We must convince them that the rule of the sheriff and Prince John is against their interests. Will disengages. Enough. He wipes the sweat from his brow. You have me beat, Robin. He bows. A practice duel is no excuse for a real fight. Anyway, well fought, Will. I shake his hand. And you, Robin, Will kisses the back of your hand with a perfect gentlemanly poise. I must return to my duties as judge, but we should talk more of the role the nobility might play in our principled rebellion. He pauses. The man would surely appreciate your keen eye and fighting advice. Care to join me in the judging? Nah, not really. I still need to talk to Marianne. So, I was going to wander the fair. I'll see you later. Fare you well, Robin. Will calls for the next duelist from among your merry men. I continue wandering the festival. Through twists and turns, walls and hedges, streamers and stalls, your feet move you aimlessly through a May Day festival larger than many a border village. The reports that you've begun attracting followers were far from exaggerated, and yet Join me, Robin. Marianne hooks her arm through yours and steers you to a group of musicians. She takes your left hand in her right and places your right on the small of her back. Shall we dance? It'll be good practice for tonight. Dancing's never been my strong suit, but I'll give it a try. An hour later, Marianne wipes sweat from her brow. False modesty does you a disservice, Robin. If you weren't a rebel leader, I should think you a dancing master. All in all, I'm afraid you have worn me out. She takes your hand. Enough dancing, let's walk. Marianne matches your stride. I have to admit, Robin, you have been so taken with, everything lately. I didn't think you would tear yourself away to come to the fair. How have you been, Marianne? Good. Marianne nods to passerby. She seems to know everyone at the festival by face, if not by name. Busy, much as you've been, but good. Thank you for asking. I've wondered a bit these past weeks if you remember the rest of us even existed when it didn't concern some raid or other. Marianne pauses, a shadow falling across her face. I've been so busy I haven't thought of home, of my father in some time. Has there been any word from Robert Fitzhugh? Nothing, Marianne shakes her head. He's been away in London gathering allies to petition my father's release. So far, it has all come to naught. Take heart. We'll free him, Marianne. I haven't forgotten. I know, Robin, and I'm not accusing you of abandoning him or anyone. But it's hard sometimes to remember how people are suffering, how my father must suffer from the sheriff's evil. She looks away through the fair. Sorry to be so gloomy on today of all days, but it's important to remember that what we do here cannot last. I only wonder, will there be anything to take its place when our Camelot falls? Really, Marianne? Okay, this is definitely, the option that you pick if you want to argue with her. But I don't want to do that because she's kind of like the the whole the admin of the whole group, right? So cherish our time here. It's all we can do. Win or lose, what we've wrought here will carry with us until it's all gone. The spirit of our endeavor will endure. Right, so I'll go with the spirit option. I hope so, but sometimes it's nice to have more than memories. Her face lights up. There's an artist's stall nearby. We can buy some materials and spend the rest of the day sketching what we can. A poor substitute, I know, but it will be something. Huh. Actually, I'd like to look around a bit by myself. I'll catch up with you later. But this is a good idea, actually, to because ancient times there's no cameras, so how they commemorate stuff is to paint. And since the festival is like so happening, right? I think it's actually a really good idea. But anyway, let's just wander around a bit, and if there's nothing else to do, I'll spend the rest of the day with Marianne. Oh, nice! I get some stuff here. All right, Robin. Marianne squeezes your shoulder. I'll see you later. You think you've seen all there is of the festival. You come away with a greater appreciation for your new home and the challenges you face. The May Day pageant begins. Ding ding ding. Let's go. Okay, shadows reach long fingers across the sky, and a single horn call sounds through the festival. A platform has been set up by the maypole, and Peter announces that judging for the May Day pageant is about to begin. When called, Peter cries, "Will the contestants step forward?" Will Scarlet. Will steps up and raises his hands, resplendent in his wine-red cloak. The women in the audience scream and cheer. Lil Jon. There's a general ruckus as Lil Jon muscles his way onto the platform, a mug of beer in hand. Palamedes the architect. Palamedes steps up, all arms and legs, easily a head taller than any of the other contestants. Okay, so I can try to sway the vote. Um, but nah, hey, hey. Uh, Actually, I want Lil Jon and Rosalind to win so that they can dance and John can get a kiss from Rosalind. So, I'm playing the matchmaker again here. Uh, okay, so I move through the crowd and try to gather votes for my favorite candidate. Waste some renown here for Lil Jon. Your words carry clear weight, but you are unable to speak for to everyone before Peter takes the stand once more. And the winner is, drum roll please. Drum. Peter cries, Lil Jon. There is much applause. And now for the title of Summer Queen. Oh dang, Lady Marian of Woodbridge. I, okay. This is oh sorry. What was that? Okay. This is just the contestants. I thought that's the winner. Okay, anyway. Lady Marian of Woodbridge. Marian steps forward and waves. Lady Rosalind. Rosalind blushes and sinks into a deep curtsy. Matilda hoots and hollers. Uh, Ellie and Eli, Peter's sisters, step forward and spin before the crowd. Is that anyone? Not quite. I nominate myself. I don't want to nominate myself. My skin is not that thick. Okay. Although I would like to see, what's the outcome. It's more like a popularity contest anyway. So, okay. So I remain silent. Let the voting begins. Peter cries. So I'm gonna try to set Rosalind up. Alright, your words carry clear weight, but you're unable to speak to everyone before blah blah blah. And the winner is Peter cries, Rosalind! You watch Lil Jon and Rosalind open up the set of dancing that will last well into the evening. There is still plenty of fun to be had. Yes, my matchmaking skill is like over 9,000. Alright, well, Marian joins you at the edge of the dance. That was humbling. I was sure at least one of us would win. She pauses. They look lovely together, don't they? Not that a night as Jack and Queen means a thing. Aha, is Marian a bit jealous? uh, Actually, I could have set up Marian with Will, but nah. I actually like setting up Lil Jon with Rosalind more. Anyway, and there's certainly no tradition of the two winners ending up as a couple. Marian smiles, sly. Oh, come on, Marian, you want Lil Jon as well? uh, they do look good together because I have a little role to play, matching them up together. So I earn 2 power. Ooh, nice. I suppose Marian sighs and leans against your shoulder. Though I think we look better. She's not shy at all, right? Okay, so you watch the dancers without speaking for a time. Suddenly, the band strikes up a lively tune, and the area around the maple is filled with couples forming up for a sad dance. Come on, Robin, Marian drags you into the dance. Let's show these upstarts what a losing couple really looks like. Marian is really sore about losing that Summer Queen title to Rosalind. And if I'm not mistaken, right, this part of the story sounds like the story assumes I'm the male version of Robin Hood, which I'm not, obviously. Um, but anyway, I'll just dance with Marianne, no problem. Okay, so when you retire to bed, Little John and Rosalind are still dancing through the mist across the wet ribbons of the maypole. The party lasts until dawn. Okay. You have mail. Okay, and you find yourself blinking sand from your eyes upon another day in Sherwood, the colourful remains of the May Day decorations drifting in the wind. Rosalind brushes past you on the path. I'm taking my studies over to the chapel, Robin. Should be quiet over there. Where do you go? I have mail, so obviously I go to the Muse. Sir Percival's wing is held at an awkward angle and appears to be wrapped in a splint. You have mail, Robin. Oh, what's wrong with the bird though? How are things, Matthew? We've been better. Sir Percy got into a tussle with an eagle the other day, but I expect he'll make a full recovery. Alright, so there's a letter from Robert's Lands, but the seal is that of a one-eyed raven. Okay. Okay, so Robin, your letters of introduction were invaluable. I thought merely to be a maid in Earl Robert's household, but he has discerned in me a particular talent for planning and pattern recognition. Here I was thinking only on the next menu and where to seat our guests when I'm whisked away from the kitchen for a special training. This is a life I had never imagined, but I can say no more at this time. Only this, it will be fun. Your friend and Anna. Oh, nice. Glad I was able to help. All right, so 9,000 gold should be enough. I'm gonna go build that bridge as well. So let's go to the architect's studio. Palamedes acknowledges your presence with an elegant nod before returning to his drawing board. There are a number of plans tacked to the wall for your perusal. If you have the manpower and give the architect money for supplies, he'll see to the rest. Okay, so this tip here, now that Palamedes has arrived, you can enlarge your base. A larger base will expand your reach across the region, allowing you to take on more complicated special missions, um, impress the factions, and grant you additional power every season. Okay, nice. Hello, Palamedes. How are you? Your land is breathtaking in its extremes. The trees alone hold the sky at a distance. Their shadows clutch secrets close, and they cast long shadows indeed. The cool, damp, and green is so different from my home. The forest is beautiful, but how are you settling in? He pauses and stares into the distance for a moment. I believe I may be more troubling to your people for my close likeness than the fairies and ogres that inhabit these woods, that appear to be your kind and yet am so obviously different. He touches his cheek lightly, allows his fingers to linger on skin as dark as the deep shadows. You would call it a cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. I make your men uncomfortable, so I try to keep to myself and to my work. Oh, okay, so I guess this is kind of like a racism. Um, you're a valuable member of our band. I'll talk to the man. No, please, Palamedes holds up a hand. I do not want to cause difficulties. Besides, this is a problem I would prefer to solve on my own. Thank you, though, for listening. Um, are we ready to expand our home? Palamedes nods. There are a number of basic improvements that can be made with little investment of manpower and resources. I'll begin immediately. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna buy some weapons for Will Scarlet as well. So Will Scarlet would like to bring in an order of weapons. Can you arrange it? Certainly, Will Scarlet will be pleased. Okay, so we need to be ready for anything. Work on repairing the tower fortifications. Okay, let's spruce up the tower to impress visiting nobility. Certainly, Palamedes nods. I shall need to procure materials from beyond the forest, but we are otherwise only limited by the amount of money you can devote to the project and the speed at which I can work. For every 1,000 gold, I can improve our political influence by 1. We have 3,886 gold, and we currently have 9 influence. Every point of general political influence increases our renown by 50 every season. So here's the tip. Political influence is the amount of friendship and goodwill you have built up with nobility across England. Many of your base improvements and activities throughout the game will increase your influence, but here you can invest in it directly. You'll gain or lose additional renown each season depending on how well liked or despised you are, and it will help should your fate ever rely on diplomacy. Yeah, diplomacy, right? How much political influence do you want to curry? I yeah, I think no, I don't think I'm going to spend gold on political influence because I have a ton of it. Okay, let's turn on the sound for a bit. Hmm. Where's my how can I check my stats? Help? Is it? Oh, where is my current stats? Okay, so I can't see how much magical discoveries I have, but should I increase defenses or I think I'll go with this one. Excavate some of the nearby ruins and let's see what we can discover. I think we can get magical discoveries. Certainly. Let me just mute the sound for a bit. Okay. Certainly, Palamedes nods. I shall need to procure materials. Oh, this is the same thing. For every 1,500 gold, I anticipate unearthing one magical discovery. Oh, it's costly. Dang, magic is costly. Actually, I shudder to think of the tuition costs of attending Hogwarts. If magic is this costly. Um, Anyway, the forest is full of small secret magics. The more discoveries you've made, the better attuned you are to the forest ways. Many of your base improvements and activities throughout the game will increase your magical knowledge, but here you can invest in it directly. With magic in hand, your men will better be able to strike the sheriff's caravans, and they will be put to use if you ever need to call on grand magics to shape the world. Ooh, it sounds really, really, well, grand. Uh, we'll have harder time raiding the sheriff's caravans for every point of fairy mischief. Hmm. Since I lost all of my magical discoveries, right? Let's invest in two of this. Yeah, I'm broke. I'm completely broke. Wait. It would be nice if we have that much gold, but we don't. What? We have 3,000 gold, right? So, oh, sorry. How many magical discoveries, not how much gold you want to spend. So, two. Let's get started. You do some quick calculations, you'll make two magical discoveries with 3,000 gold. Correct. I will begin immediately, Robin. Palamedes rubs his hands, visibly gleeful. Huh. Okay, so I leave Palamedes to his work. Um, the Great Hall, totally trashed. Let's go to the Great Hall. Your men got a little rowdy during the May Day festival and the Great Hall suffered for it. Several benches are broken, trash litters the floor, and dirty dishes lie piled on the table. The menu for today? Gruel. A wild-looking unshaven man sips cranberry juice at the table. He's exceptionally unfamiliar. Yeah, we definitely need to care for our common areas. Invite the nobles to a lousy Great Hall? No. No way. So I don't have a lot of gold right now, so I can't give. Maybe I can give a few. Let's exchange some gold for some men. Or okay, let's skip the gold. But I need to clean the place. So we need to care for our common areas. Simply because we fight for freedom does not mean we are free of responsibility. Well said. Clean. You muse on that noble sentiment and then turn your mind to the practical matter of rehabilitating the space. Gruel is depressing. We need more meat on the menu. gruel is an ecologically friendly meal of whole grains, but it could be varied with vegetables. I don't think the men would appreciate like vegetables, right? So let's go with meat. You designate a group of merry men to spend more time in the forest hunting and trapping. Okay, so now I sit next to the unfamiliar man. Now how, friend? Robin Hood! The man nearly falls off the bench. This is marvelous. I thought I would have to wait all day, and so much cranberry juice can be deleterious to one's health. The man is unshaven, his vest holds too many pockets, and he wears a wide-brimmed, ill-fitting hat. I heard all about you from Friar Tuck's sermons, Lady Robin of Locksley, which is why I came to you first. I have a proposition. By the way, my name is Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, would your first name happen to be Indiana? Okay, I'll, independence, actually, the man bobs his head. My parents had high hopes for my sense of self-determination. Alright, so Marian should hear about this. Meet me in the war room. Perfect, perfect. He fairly skips from the hall. I'll see you in the war room, wherever that is. Okay, I'm pretty sure he'll get lost. Before you can direct the man, he's gone. Uh, Eli or possibly Ellie swings by with a tray and places a glass at your elbow. Cranberry juice, Robin? I leave the Great Hall. What a way to respond to that question. Just leave. Um, okay, the nobility is ready to assist us. I prepare a message. All the world awaits. Eh, should I do this? Like, should I really do this? Or should I wait? Yeah, let's do this. So, let's garner some noble influence. Certain nobles of the realm are curious about those blank areas of the map, what lies beyond the charted waters and edges of the dark forests. Your influence and example can inspire them to explore the unknown. You currently have no standing with the nobles. What? No standing whatsoever? I thought, oh, what's that knight? The knight, right? Pelidor or something? Uh, Alright, anyway, what would you ask of the nobility? You have zero noble influence and require 3 favor to gain another. Family connections. Yes. You receive word from your relatives over in Dunbarrow. They are terribly sorry to hear about all that all that unpleasantness. That's not unpleasantness, that's like daylight robbery, man. Anyway, unpleasantness with the sheriff. Nevertheless, they would still like you to sponsor one of their teenage children. What's this business with like sponsoring children? Uh, do you remember that discussion? Will you take not Ronald or his sister Molly? Seriously, the nobles are giving me their children to be kind of like on an internship in the forest? Huh. Yeah, let's go with the lady because I'm Lady Robin, so it's better to go with the lady option. And she might do well with Marianne, who knows, she can learn a lot from Marianne. So Molly arrives full of wonder and excitement at life in the forest. Oh, I thought she'll be like spoiled, and don't want to live in the forest. But anyway, she promises not to get in the way in the slightest, even as she dogs your every step. Fortunately, her parents have sent funds to provide for her care. Though there is no major crisis at hand, I work to support the nobility. So 1 power, 1 favor. Ooh, this is very low, right? Yeah, let's. Yeah, it's enough. To other matters at hand. I leave the Great Hall. Trapper's Delight. Now it's changed. Okay, so a rising framework. Let's check out the tavern. The tavern rises just outside the tower. There are no walls, doors, or even windows. just a framework of timber, several stools, and a bunch of overturned barrels doubling as tables. 3 barrels pushed next to each other form a bar. Little John leans against the bar, chatting with a group of merrymen, while Sir Bedivere snores at his feet. There's a notice by the front door of the tavern. A traveling bard lounges by the fire. Yeah, it's missing the tuning his lute. I joined Lil John at the bar. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Okay, let's read the notice. I read the notice. To all merrymen, be advised that due to elevated bounty on Lady Robin of Locksley, bounty hunters have been sighted beyond the bounds of the deep wood in the eastern forest. Please exercise all caution when operating in that area. Eastern forest, right? Okay, if I'm probably gonna go up there just to see. Okay, so peasant influence. I grab a drink, consider ways to rally the peasants. The people are in need. Right, so the serfs of England toil thanklessly day after day, tied to the land and forced to labour for their lords. Yeomen and merchants fare only marginally better. By your influence and an example, they can find a way out. You have 0 influence with the peasantry and require 5 favour to gain another. You currently have no standing with the peasants. Oh, I'm gonna waste power for favors. Alright. This is, I think, a special quest or something that I have to unlock. Alright, enough. I put down my drink. How now, minstrel? The bard inclines his head. Lady Robin of Locksley, perhaps you could confirm some of the rumors I've heard of your band. With my new song, I shall spread tales throughout nearby towns and villages. When I confirm the rumors of your accomplishments with the common folk, new recruits shall come flooding to your halls. Alright, time to boast. Alright, so I confirm some rumors with the bard by the fire. Renown for men. Yeah, let's go. For you can get 1 man for just 12 renown. This is actually a lot better than spending gold for men, because I have a ton of renown and I don't know how to use them. Okay, so I can recruit up to 100 men. Yeah, let's not go that far. Let's go with like 25. Okay. I tell the bard some of my better stories. You do some quick calculations. Your story is worth 300 renown. We'll recruit 25 merry men. Actually, I can spend 1,200 renown to recruit 100 merry men, right? That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's just go with 100. Why not? Yeah, correct. Let's go. The bard packs up his loot. That should be enough. I shall set out before the end of day. Oh, before I end this, let me turn on the sound. Let's see if there's music. It's the same music, right? Okay. Anyway, I'll mute the sound for now. Alright. So I head elsewhere. The scrying pool, shrouded in mystery and weeds. The scrying pool is in a forgotten garden on the tower grounds, carefully hidden by rolling hills and deliberate trees. The scrying pool itself is shrouded by reeds and lilies. You'll have to push your way through the undergrowth and wade up your knees before being able to see clear water. I gaze into the pool. The waters sparkle in the sun. The sheriff's men are extracting taxes from a village. Most of the villagers can't pay what is requested, so the soldiers take grain, sheep, and farm tools. There is no longer enough food, and the villagers will starve come winter. I leave a missive for the court of fairies. Good contracts make good neighbors. Oh, okay, so can I help the villagers? There's no option to do that, right? The fairy courts, while united under Titania and Oberon, are a factious group of alliances between light and shadow. So you have 0 influence and you have no standing with the Fae. Between light and shadow, take aim. Yes. The bright... Oh... 2. Okay, the bright court of Oberon welcomes all aspirants, provided they can prove themselves. While under Titania, the glooming court is shrouded in secrecy and misdirection. Beware, a rise to prominence within one comes at the displeasure of the other. Oh, there are a lot of like quests and actions here. I don't want to waste my power because power is a bit hard to earn. You get like 1 per season or something. Yeah. Okay, I leave the pool. Let's go to the chapel because there's an unexpected discovery. Probably some gold, maybe? An old chapel was discovered within the tower complex and your men are busy excavating it. Oh, so we don't need to build a new chapel. Alright, they are finding old tapestries and some intact stained glass. A donation box sits in the corner. There's a note pinned to the donation box. Any gold you can spare will be delivered by my fellow friars to allied nobles. They will use the money to fund public announcements, commission music, and throw other events to promote our band. I anticipate we shall gain great renown and acceptance among the upper classes with these donations, after the church takes a small cut, of course. Gold for renown? Nah. Alright, so the church offers assistance in recognition of your exceptional charity and heroism. Time to call in a favor. I have no standing with the church. Okay, I sit next to Rosalind. She has no small dreams. Rosalind's on the pew inside the chapel, frowning at the Bible. Learning your letters? I'm making progress. Rosalind frowns, frustrated. It's not as fast as I hoped or as simple. Even the same letter can make really different noises when it's in a different place. That's true. I'm going to wander around the chapel. See you around, Robin. I leave the chapel. Okay, the bulletin board, anything here? I'll take a look at our statistics. So I got like a lot of political influence here. Legendary momentum, what is this? Okay. The sheriff is gonna decimate my political influence. Dang. Okay. He's focused on the peasants. I'm earning a lot of renown. And, oh, I'm earning 4 power this time. Nice. Alright. Okay, I head elsewhere. Let's go exploring. The forest. Let's go to the green first. A profusion of wildflowers. In the wake of the May Day festival, the green has been largely untended. Grass and wildflowers grow knee-high. Sir Bedevire's hanging around the green. Hey bear, what's up? Bedivere yawns and noses open the door to the tavern. You hear giggling and catch a flash of red tresses in John's arm. Well, congratulations are in order. Robin, Rosalind squeaks. We have you to thank for this. Aye, John grins. But Robin has better things to do than check up on us. He winks and gently closes the door. Don't you? The giggling resumes. Okay. Grass is nice, but I think we can do more with the green. You consider how best to use the sunny open space in the middle of Deepwood. Yeah, let's turn it into archery range and put up some lawn games. I have a ton of men anyway, so... Oh! Huh. Right. Men for power. This would be good actually. Huh. Okay, let's try this. Okay, this is the cheapest. Okay, let's send 75 men. And I gain 2 power, nice. 45 farms and villages against assault. Okay. Alright. Will's walking through weapons training, checking the progress. Will gives his students a break as he walk up. I greatly enjoyed the Mayday Festival. He inclines his head. Thank you. It brought life to the forest. He's momentarily lost in thought. I salute Will and head across my base. Okay, the war room. Next. Marianne looks up as you enter the war room. She's all smiles and daggers. So nice of you to join us, Robin. Mr. Jones said you sent him here. He has been enthusiastically talking since his arrival. She grits her teeth. That was some time ago. Oh no. Mr. Jones bounces around the room behind Marianne. She's doing her best to ignore him. Um, alright, Mr. Jones, let's hear your proposal. We can start? Wonderful. Jones unrolls a map of the Shire over Marianne's papers. You are no doubt aware this entire region is undercut by a series of caves and caverns, some natural, some man-made, which date back as far as Arthur's day. The caves are mostly hidden or blocked, but I believe I found an entrance here. Imagine the riches that lay forgotten beneath the earth. The only problem, Marian chimes in, is the monsters that have made these cave systems home. Well, yes, but that's where you come in. I need men or money to outfit the expedition. He quickly outlines his requirements. Imagine the prestige you will gain should we be successful. Aha. Hmm. Okay. Um. Let me turn on the music while I think. I don't think I can spare the gold, but okay, here's the money you require. Fabulous. I'll make sure everyone knows your generosity was responsible for our success. Jones attempts a brief bow. Now, Robin, if you would so kind as to direct Jones out of the deep wood. Jones, meet me outside. I'll have someone help you home in a minute. I'll have my bags ready to go. Jones bounces from the room. Thank you, Robin. Marianne takes a deep breath. Uh, Yeah, was there anything else? We need to deal with those bounty hunters. I agree, Marianne unrolls a rough map of the forest. The bounty on your head has become a problem. We've been tracking groups of so-called bounty hunters here, here, and here. And they are not perforated yet. Why? Marianne rolls her eyes. We can't kill everyone who crosses the bounds of Sherwood. Well, we can, she amends, but everybody raises your bounty and just attracts more ne'er-do-wells to the doom. It's a vicious cycle and a waste of arrows. What is it that makes these bounty hunters so special? That's it. Nothing. Marian slaps a mosquito off her neck. They are mostly farmers, yeomen, or displaced crusaders who see your bounty as the possibility for a better life. If circumstances had been different, you might have been among them. I would like some guidelines, and I would like you to lead our men to the forest when the time comes. I'll deal with the rest of the logistics. Marian Prince. Remember, you're slated to teach that archery seminar in 10 minutes. Hmm. Oh shoot, I only have 5 men left. Maybe I should recruit some more men. But this time I'm gonna need to use gold. Okay, so gather the merry men. I want these yahoos out of our forest. Uh, this is a bow can start the archery lesson can start a little late. Okay. Do you have any other information about these bounty hunters? Marian checks her notes. Most prominent among them is a man named Brown Adams, a former smith turned soldier. I believe he used to own a smithy near the Locksley lands. Anyway, he has a reputation for woodcraft, almost as good as yours. Send your hawk, Sir Percival, with a message. I would like to meet this Brown Adams. Yes, we need a smith, in our community. Convince the best of them to leave us be and the other groups will follow suit. Marian begins spinning it. I'll take the necessary precautions in case it becomes becomes a trap. Take a group from the forest border as soon as you are ready. You know, Marianne, I think we could really do something interesting with this space. Robin, Marianne crosses her arms over her chest. This is my space. You can do what you want with the rest of our base, but this is mine, and I like it just the way it is. If anything here needs changing or decorating, I'll do it myself. Okay, what plans are afoot? There are rumors of a real haul about to happen. I need you to lead some scouting missions around the edge of the forest over the next couple weeks. If the rumors bear fruit, you'll be able to put that experience to good use. Ready to go? I have only 5 men, so not just yet. Um, hmm. I'll be back. I'll be back. All right, let's go to the Great Hall and recruit some people. 15 men. Let's go. Yeah, I'm completely broke. I am completely broke. Okay, I arranged an escort for Mr. Jones to leave the forest. Alright, in spite of your assurances, getting Mr. Jones out of your hair and your home takes nothing less than your personal escort from the forest. Throughout, he plies your ear with other plans and adventures, each more preposterous than the last. Furthermore, your return is delayed by a patrol of the sheriff's finest. You curse Jones' name with every day spent hiding in the ditch or up a tree. We've received word from Mr. Jones. Marianne finds you under a dogwood tree on your return several days later. The expedition was a success. There was a large haul of artifacts that appear to be from a time when the Romans controlled England. The local nobles are impressed with our dedication to the country's heritage. She picks at some dirt under her fingernails. Anyway, Jones seems to think Excalibur is in another cave system further down. The last anyone saw of him, he vanished into the depths. Mr. Jones' exploits will probably make for a fascinating play someday. Okay, so Palamedes meets you on the path with news of the base construction. Salam, Robin. We've cleared the rubble from the courtyard and found intact remains of a forge. Oh, that's why we need Adams, right? Okay, so furthermore, the battlements are undergoing some much needed repair. Okay, so this is a report. Palamedes bows deeply and returns to his studio. Where do you go? Uh, oh, I seriously need a checkpoint though. Alright, let's go to the war room and okay, let's go through everything again. The Great Hall, lined in fur. Squirrel pie, nice. Okay. Uh, let's go to the forest border. Okay, so brambles separate your home from the deep wood. They are high as a man. You suspect some malevolent, malevolent. Dang, it's a tongue twister, at least for me. Force at work. Malevolent. Huh. Regardless, access to your forest base is increasingly curtailed. There's a circle of mushrooms, a fey ring, just beyond the bounds of your base. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's step into the fey ring. You pause at the entrance of the fey ring, reminded of stories where people have vanished into fey rings for hours or days before returning to the world. Okay, I take a step back. I go for a stroll and visit the Shrine of Mary. The grotto is cool and a striking contrast to the sweltering heat of the summer forest. I pray at the shrine. Oh, but I'm already graced, so uh, let's go east because that's where all the bounty hunters are, right? Uh, okay, the cliff face is dry from the summer heat. In the distance, you see a large creature swoop and come out of the trees with a deer in its claws. The cliff is dry enough to climb. I try the free climbing to the top. You make it to the very top of the cliff, nearly losing your grip only once or twice. It's a lonely spur of rock, and there's not an easier way down. Still, the view is magnificent. So we could build a watchtower and drop some ropes for access in wet weather. Oh, nice. 25 men, right? Okay, so okay, let's go west. Let's go to that rocky stream. Okay, so I make plans to build a small bridge. You get a few men and explain the plans. They think it will be simple enough to work. Alright, so I go west to the quiet pool. Dense thicket. Oh, the thicket is heavy with ripe dark fruit.